So today I want to talk about how you can research industry verticals and career options in any industry. And first of all, what an industry vertical is, they're large segments of the industrial base. So it could be manufacturing, it could be oil and gas, healthcare. Those are verticals, and within those verticals, there are different areas and specializations. So you are mainly in the information technology area, and that's what you will focus on today. But I'll show you how to begin to do some research because a lot of times there are companies that are out there in the world that we don't even know that they're there. And so, that's one of the questions that I've asked a lot is even just driving down the street and thinking, how did a person go about getting a job there? And how would a person go about getting a job at a medium-sized company, or um, and do they just land in a role randomly, or is it more strategic? And so the way I want to think about this and teach you how to do it is to be very strategic. And so we're going to explore some options. And the first thing is how to really gain some quick knowledge of a specific industry. So one of the things that we'll do is we'll use Google to do some information searching, and we'll start by asking Google to show us trade shows. Well, because a lot of times trade shows are very specific segments of industries, and they represent a group of businesses that are related and that work together with products and services that are very integrated with each other. So you could use the top software trade shows. You could use the developer trade shows. How about networking trade shows, electronics trade shows? Okay, so this is a way to get to large trade shows, and you will be able to put some things together. Now, a large trade show example of one of the largest in cloud computing is the AWS Ignite. And so I'm going to show you that, not Reignite, sorry. This is the AWS reInvent, actually. And so that is the conference that they have every year. They've had it now for a while. And so you can get to the keynotes and everything. But what we want to do is to get down specifically to the event sponsors. So that is on this page. We can see who sponsored the event, and it's in the sponsor list. And so what we see is we have the large. Now this particular event has large sponsors, the consulting firms, Intel's there, database vendors, and they go down in cascading levels of the ones who gave the least advertising dollars to this event, or in order of descending order. And so, but what we actually get to see here is that we can find companies that we didn't even know existed before. And somehow these companies work together in that industry. And so we can look, for example, Trend Micro. What does Trend Micro do? I can go straight to their website, and I can begin to look at their products and services and see what types of things they offer. Trend Micro is an infrastructure, a cloud infrastructure company. They do security, they do monitoring, and they create a suite of products that allow us to basically create our IT infrastructure in the cloud. So they do those things, um, and you can get an idea of who the company is. Now, the thing about this type of business, every business needs a wide gamut of people. So it's not just software developers. They need support specialists. They need website designers. They need salesmen. They need product specialists. They need technicians. They need their own network people. So any job can you find the one you want, and you could start looking at their careers and what they have available, where they're at. But this is just one example. So going back to AWS reInvent, as you can see, large hardware manufacturers, AMD, Cisco, these organizations are huge. CenturyLink, we know that they're a communications provider. And we can basically go through here and look at the companies that we do know and get an idea of who they are and how they may relate to others that are in the industry segment. This is just a good way to see those companies that you may have never heard of before and begin to look at who they are and what they do. So this is an example of a very, very large trade show with a lot of innovative cloud-based companies. So that's one example. I wanted to show you another example that is a smaller example. This is the Wireless Internet Service Providers Association trade show, and it's held every year. It's called Wispalooza. But this is a smaller industry. It's composed of small businesses in the wireless industry. And these are the list of exhibitors in their exhibit hall. And so all of these people had a table at the exhibit, and all of them either provide or sell some type of service or piece of equipment or hardware that would be needed in the wireless internet providers industry. And so what we have are sponsors who actually came in and sponsored this kind of conference. So they're the big spenders here. And then the people who had tables, so they paid a lesser amount to get a table. But we get some information about their company and who they are. And so this is an example of when you look at a distributor. So this StreetWave is a distributor, and this is a distributor is a company that sells products to business users. Another one is Wave. Another one is ISP Supplies. Now, these companies, all three of them, do the same thing. They have particular pieces of equipment. They sell to business users. And so with this, you may decide you want to go to work for a distributor. When you do that, you're going to get a lot of information and contacts in the industry. You're going to learn a lot of product technical knowledge. You're going to be able to support customers with their product questions. You're going to do sales. There's a lot of products that are sold. Now, distributors are another way to get more information about an industry. So a particular distributor in a particular industry, what brands of products does this distributor sell? Well, these are just the majority of this. They're called a line card. Now, the line card is another way to find particular products and solutions and companies provide these things. Now, some of them are going to be overseas. Some of them are going to be in other parts of the nation. Some are going to be in Canada. Some are going to be in Mexico. Some will be close by here in Texas, where we are. But it's just another way to look at this industry and see who makes it up, who it's composed of, you'll see a lot of these same providers at other distributors, but some also that you may see that are new. So here's another brand or line card for the particular devices and products that this particular distributor carries. You see some of the same ones. Some of them are equipment manufacturers, some manufacture accessories, some manufacture just a specific solution for a specific problem. There are software vendors, and even when you go back into the WISPA here, there are software vendors. This is a payment processing company. Then you have billing, you have CRM, customer relationship management software that's available. These are all avenues that you could look for to decide whether or not you want to actually work in that type of industry, or that you may want to apply for a job that's available. Now, this is an example of a manufacturer. This is KP Performance Antennas. They make antennas, so you can get an idea of the products and the product lines. So you are still going to get, if you work for a company like this, you could still get some great technical knowledge, make a lot of industry contacts, but you're going to be in a specific industry segment right there. And so, again, you can do this for any conference, for any trade show. Just a general search about trade shows is going to give you some of the larger trade shows, but then you can also do a search such as industry associations. So if I wanted to go out to Google and do a search for list of network industry associations, this is going to give me professional associations and organizations by industry. This is a perfect way to go out and begin to research a vertical. And so you do that very same process again, but you can find companies that you would have never known existed. And some of these are small businesses, it's 2, 3, 5 employees. Some have up to 25, some have 25,000. But it's good to go out and get in with a small business. You can get started, especially if they have an innovative product idea, because you may be in for a whole career of supporting a product, and then you can decide whether you want to make your next strategic move and move to a different organization, or follow your company and make their hopes and dreams part of your hopes and dreams. And hopefully you will do very, very well. So I want you just to try that and continue to learn about the industry you choose, and just communicate with the people that work at the companies. Don't hesitate to contact them and say, I'm interested. I am interested in maybe working for you, and I just wanted to know how you what your philosophy is, or how you face these challenges, or just talk to them. And so, people can be enamored and really, really like to feel that you are aware of them. And so it's not necessarily going out and finding the biggest fish in the ocean. You don't want to go and just work for the big whales. Work for the small fish and get into an industry and learn it, and then move through that industry. That is the way to go. And I want you guys to do that, and I wish you the best of luck in everything you do. Thank you.